Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So guys, we're back on the Busola Dakolo and Fatoyinbo narrative again, a story that shows no signs of going anywhere because hell, of course, has no fury as a woman scorned, and clearly this woman feels aggrieved and she's not letting go. So here's the headline: Nigerians react as Busola Dakolo demands apology from Biodun Fatoyinbo. So that's the headline. Nigerians react as Busola Dakolo demands apology from Biodun Fatoyinbo. So now let's find out exactly what Busola has to say. Busola Dakolo, wife of popular musician Timi Dakolo, has stirred reactions from Nigerians on social media over her demands before a federal territory high court in Abuja on her case against Biodun Fatoyinbo, senior pastor, Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, COSA. Busola, the wife of music star Timi Dakolo, has accused the cleric of an incident when she was still very young. The court on Monday summoned Fatoyinbo and Busola Dakolo to appear before it within 14 days. She told the High Court that the incident had adversely affected her marital life and demanded a letter of apology from Fatoyinbo to show remorse. Mrs. Dakolo, in a suit filed on her behalf by her lawyer, Pelumi Olajengbesi and Co. of Law Corridor, demanded that Pastor Fatoyinbo should tender an apology on 2 national newspapers and national television station for 7 days consecutively and pay 10 million for the total cost of demands in relation to the suit. Her demands have stirred reactions from Nigerians who queried her intention for taking Pastor Fatoyinbo to court. Here are some of the reactions gathered on Twitter. So this is a David Ebo. Why 10 million? That's not what the suffering she endured for nearly 20 years. Foolish men, especially those in developing and lawless countries like Nigeria, must be stopped from abusing their position of power. Nothing stops her from raising it to 30 billion. The church can afford it. So this is what this guy has to say. And just in response to that comment, the demand for 10 million is just a nominal amount. And the reason why this Busola woman would have demanded for 10 million, and this is just me speculating now because obviously I don't know her personally, but the reason I feel that she would have demanded for that 10 million as just a nominal punitive fee or a nominal amount of compensation, however you choose to term it, the reason why she would have demanded for 10 million is just to send the signal that this is not about the money, because there's been a lot of murmurings and a lot of rumors and a lot of public mudslinging from the Fatoyinbo camp that this woman is just after money, blah blah blah. So if she had gone for that 30 billion rather, as this guy is suggesting, which I think she rightly should, and I also am in agreement with that, she should be in the tens of billions that she should be demanding from these people. But if she had done that, that would then have lent credence to that speculation that this is all about money. So they would have latched on to that to say, you see, she's just after money. So what she is emphasizing is a public apology which will completely humiliate this guy and leave him no room to function anymore within the industry that he functions in, he resides in. So that really is where the punitive measure is. So public apology published in the national newspaper for 7 concurrent days to state that, look, I did this and I am sorry, which is a public shaming, is similar to what we saw on Game of Thrones when that woman was being pelted with tomatoes and whatnot. So it's a public pelting of tomatoes really is what she's demanding. So forget the 10 million naira. The 10 million naira is just really a space filler just to have something there. So let's see what somebody else has to say. This is Goal. Busola Dakolo demands apology, 10 million naira cost of action from Pastor Fatoyinbo. So will they share the 10 million naira or it's for Busola alone. So this is now an indication in the direction of that little narrative that I just did about people wanting to make this about the money. So 10 billion naira is 10 billion naira. Is a sizable amount of money, but not at the level that we're speaking to, which is this successful musician and this Gucci pastor. So 10 million naira is probably just like a week spent for some of them on a week that they need to spend money. So 10 million naira, like I said, is just a nominal punitive fee or amount or compensation, and not really what this lawsuit is about. So now let's go on to what a character called Wale Adesanmi has to say. I expect Biodun Fatoyinbo to appeal Busola Dakolo's judgment of fine to prove his innocence. If he dares pay that 10 million, then he is a shit. So now, what this guy is saying speaks to what I've already said because really, him having to pay that 10 million will be an admission of guilt. But then, of course, he's not going to pay that 10 million willy-nilly or out of free will. The court will have to force his hand to pay that 10 million. So either if he pays that 10 million out of his free will, or he pays it via a court judgment, either way, as soon as that 10 million is paid, then it's a full and frank admission of guilt that he did in fact do this thing that this lady is alleging. So really, that 10 billion really is just really an acknowledgement of fact. So let's go on to what somebody else has to say. This is what Helkia has to say. At Helkia is the name of this commentator. She isn't demanding 10 million. It's the cost of what the court asked the pastor to do that amounts to 10 million. People should learn to read a story in full and not just depend on headlines that are aimed at confusion. So this guy or this person, I don't know if he's male or female, this character. So this person is suggesting that that 10 million might even be at the behest of the court and not really be a demand from Busola Dakolo. So I don't really agree with this, because I don't think the court can insert a fee that the appellant is not demanding for. So the cost of the court is the court of the cost, which is borne by whoever bears the cost of the court. Maybe it's the person that is bringing the case that would bear the cost of the cost, and the cost of the court really will be a nominal fee, because judgment cannot be made too expensive so that it is inaccessible to anyone that is in need or in demand of justice. So it's going to be a nominal fee. I cannot imagine that a court fee will be more than 10,000 naira, because the court fees are really usually borne by the state, whichever state that is, the state of course being the country. So let's go on to what somebody else has to say. So the next commentator, Newton Ikere is the tag of this person. So money has been the root of all these accusations. How mean? Ladies broke and she needs money. Very mean. So now this person is entirely a dunce, of course. There's absolutely no brain function in the head of whoever wrote this comment. And I'm saying that for the reasons that we've already discussed. This is just a completely stupid person who probably needs supervision to function in life, because this is just beyond idiotic what that person just said. Let's go on to let's just take one or two more and then we'll round it off there. So the next commentator, Selfless Teacher, is the name of his tag or her tag. So at Selfless Teacher, if she demands 10 million, I think she is sick. I have always supported her, but not on this. Her revelation was supposed to help her heal, expose the criminal, and let the police do their job, not augment her wealth. So how is her wealth really augmented by 10 million naira is really the question. And really, this lady should add an appendage to say that 10 million will be donated to like a charitable cause that fights this particular thing that she's alleging happened to her. So really, it's not really about the 10 million, but of course I feared, and it's now panning out, that people will focus on that 10 million and try to make this all about the money, which of course it is not. So let me just take one last comment to see if there's a commentator that redeems this. So this next person is at King of Singing. At King of Singing is the name of the tag of this person making this comment. Well, guess she wants to make sure that he comes to court because no sane person will agree to those terms. May the guilty be found guilty and punished accordingly. Amen. So now this is the most sensible of all of the comments that I've read to you so far, because I agree in its entirety with what this person has to say. Because if you look at the demands that Busola is making, no sane person, as this person rightly said, would agree to that. So what she is asking, in fact, so forget the 10 million, let's not even discuss that because that's just a bit of whatever and added on. But what she's really demanding is that this guy publishes an apology in 2 national papers for 7 concurrent days, and to go on national television for 7 concurrent days and make these apologies as well. So now, no person, this guy would, you know, he would rather die than do that, you know, and he will fight this to the very end of his life than have to do that. So her demanding that, her making that demand of him is effectively asking him to meet her in court. I will meet you in court is effectively what she is saying, because if she's saying that the reasons why I would not take you to court is if you did all these things, to go on national television for 7 days and issue a public apology, and then to back that up with a 7-day public apology in 2 national newspapers, then of course the guy is going to say a categorical and a flat no. So meet me in court is effectively what she is saying to this fella. So they meet in court, and of course we continue to bring you the narrative of what transpires on this channel. So to keep yourself up to date with what transpires, of course, then you'd have to click on that red subscribe button so it turns gray, and then clicking on the bell button would notify you every time I do drop a new video. So do both, click on the red subscribe button and then click on that bell button next to it so you are aware every time I drop a video. So once you've done both, come join me in the comment section. Let's see what we're all making of the goings on between Busola Dakolo and Biodun Fatoyinbo in the comment section. The Gucci pastor, no less. So we're discussing the Gucci pastor in this video. So come, let's have that discussion in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, carry on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.